It's time for today's travel and cruise industry news. With the latest from travel and cruises around the world, here's your host, Chillie Falls.
Good morning. Welcome to Travel and Cruise Industry News, coming to you live from Crowne Plaza in Seattle, Washington. Excited to be here, excited for today. I'm just, I usually don't get giddy. I'm kind of giddy today. Really neat. Crowne Plaza is just a fantastic hotel. I'm on the 28th floor. I have a fabulous view. If you can see, I got the window behind me. What I wanted to do was have the shot from over my shoulder of the beautiful skyline. The lighting just doesn't work out, so it was awful. So I couldn't do that. So anyway, I do have a lovely view out. That's out my window, straight over to the Needle and of the downtown skyline of Seattle. Of course, those of you that have been following the train escapade exploits, got to get the tongue working today. This is state number 49 checked off. I got 48 and 49 yesterday. It was got into Oregon and Washington, and 50 will be whenever I cross into Alaska tomorrow, I think. Maybe the day after. I'm not even sure when officially I get into Alaska. But anyway, really excited to be here. So today is, of course, Travel and Cruise Industry Day. I don't have to worry about the Wi-Fi signal for once. Boy, that's been terrifically difficult on the train. Much worse than I've dealt with cruise ships, because I'd be counting on the hotspot, because A&T assured me that, there's no problem with between the 4G and the 5G, whatever that stuff means. That is beyond me. But he said, we'll have you covered for the entire trip when you're in the United States. So we can't promise that when you're outside the United States. But when you're in the United States, we got you covered with the way the system is now. Yeah, bull, you know what? So I'd lose the signal, and boom, my hotspot's gone. Boom. Then whatever I was doing, live streaming or whatever, it was gone. And then I'd have to wait until I got it back and then reconnect. Oh, it was just awful. So Amtrak, one of the things, and I hope to do a comprehensive piece about Amtrak and the problems, and they're not problems that can't be handled, and it's not problems that are bad enough for me to say I'll never do that again. I will definitely do that again. The train travel, even though, of course, it takes longer, and there are clearly issues as for somebody like me that's mobility challenged or worse, I'd still rate it way ahead of flying. Way ahead. The best recently was the 4 cruises I did that I drove to. That clearly is my preferred mode of travel now, if I have the time and energy to go that route. Now that my attitude toward the train has changed a little, because after the first couple of days, I was a little down on the whole thing because I hadn't slept. Then after I got a little sleep in Sacramento, and then had got some really good sleep once I got back on the train after Sacramento, I guess I just finally found out what I'm comfortable with doing and was able to sleep. So yesterday I felt much better and got to thinking back in the positive vein about the train travel again. So I feel sure I will do it. I do want to explore the accessible car. I mean, the sleeper cars. However, I'm not going to go with the accessible a handicapped sleeper. That was $1,000 for a day. I said, no, that's ridiculous. It is I found grossly expensive was why they weren't booked originally. And very confusing online also, but those are things to work out. So I do want to try that. I am efforting. I'm on waiting list now to get a sleeper on at least part of the trip going home. Don't have any word on that yet, but I'm trying. So those kind of things are still up in the air as far as using the train travel for cruising. But as far as what you see and seeing a part of the country that you never get to see up by highways, that's just awesome. Absolutely awesome. So, and now that I feel a little more comfortable and I found out a few of the things you got to do, which I'm going to try to put this all in a piece. I don't know if it's going to be a written piece for the blog or if it's going to be a video piece. I'm not sure yet, or maybe both. But that's coming up. All right. Today is National Butterscotch Brownie Day. Well, that's right up my alley. If there's the word brownie in it, I'm there. No doubt about it. So go out and find yourself a brownie today, or ladies or gentlemen, get in the kitchen and fix a batch. Do have a bunch of cruise ships sailing today. Sorry for a swig of Diet Coke. Up in Boston, we got the American Constitution. And down in Charleston, we got the Carnival Sunshine, Port Canaveral, Carnival Liberty, Disney Dream, Independence of the Seas, and the Carnival Elation. Miami, we have the Freedom of the Seas, the Carnival Conquest. In Mobile, we've got the Carnival Ecstasy, Galveston, the Grandeur of the Seas, and Carnival Breeze. Out in Los Angeles at Long Beach, you got the Carnival Radiance, San Pedro, Navigator of the Seas. Of course, here in Seattle, Quantum of the Seas, guess who's going to be on that? That would be me. Up in Anchorage, the Norwegian Jewel sails today. Headlines. Norwegian's entire fleet back in service. MSC's sustainable excursions. Silversea to offer outward-facing pool deck. That's kind of an interesting concept. Celebrity cancels a couple of Alaska cruises because of barnacles? What? All the years I've been doing this, I don't think I've ever used the word barnacle ever in a news story. I don't think I've ever used the word barnacle in a non-news story. Anyway, that's all coming up this morning. If you're listening via the podcast, again, my apologies for the problems we had last week with the podcast. I was having trouble accessing things. I was having trouble accessing my blog. There was just all kinds of problems that were all tied into the lack of a good Wi-Fi signal. So I expect that on cruise ships when I'm out, especially out in the water, that you just don't know. I was expecting better from AT&T. But anyway, so I apologize for all the issues. My throat is very scratchy again today. But anyway, if you are on the podcast, welcome aboard. You can always access it via my blog, accessadventure.net, or anywhere you get podcasts from, all the majors. Just look for travel and cruise industry news, and you'll find me. So, of course, at times I do post pictures, like I just posted the picture of the skyline behind me. If you'd like to jump over to the video feed, you can look down in the description and there'll be a link. Just click on it. You can check out any pictures or clips that we've used and go back to your podcast if you want to. And of course, in collaboration with Chillie's Cruises for Solos, and Shelby over at TravelFun.biz, we've got a group cruise coming up in December the 4th, on the Norwegian Encore out of Miami, 7-night cruise with stops in Puerto Plata, Dominican Republic, St. Thomas, Tortola of the British Virgin Islands, and Great Stirrup Cay. Just get a hold of Shelby. She's the one at travelfun.biz. I'll be back with today's news after a word from one of our network sponsors. All right, today's news. The Norwegian Spirit resumed revenue operations this weekend in Tahiti, marking the completion of Norwegian Cruise Line's restart plans. 10 months after first welcoming guests back on board, the company has now reactivated its entire 17-ship fleet. As the last ship to return, the Norwegian Spirit is launching service in South Pacific with a series of long cruises linking the region to Hawaii. MSC Cruises' summer 2022 program of shore excursions will have its strongest ever focus on minimizing the environmental impact of land-based tours and supporting nature-positive activities, the company said in a press release. More electric and hybrid shuttle buses will be used for guests to shuttle from ports to places of interest in Denmark, Finland, Norway, Spain, and Sweden, with MSC Cruises aiming to increase the utilization of green ground transportation in the future. Low carbon footprint excursions will include 150 bicycle tours available in 21 countries and more sustainable shore excursion called Protect Tours that MSC Cruises first introduced in 2020. Silversea Cruises' new ship that will debut in 2023, the Silver Nova, will be built with a revolutionary asymmetrical design that will offer new outdoor spaces, including an outward-facing pool deck. Silver Nova's pool decks will be the primary outdoor area in which guests can relax, refresh, and socialize, with ample space for 280 sunbeds on decks 10 and 11. The horseshoe-shaped pool area will occupy a generous space on the starboard side of the ship, affording unobstructed views of the destination from the swimming pool, the adjacent pool bar, and the sunbathing areas. Celebrity Cruises has been forced to cancel the May 22nd Alaska sailing out of Vancouver for the Celebrity Eclipse, as well as the May 15th itinerary with shortened ports of call due to barnacle growth on the ship's hull. Yuck. Booked guests have been offered alternative sailings or full refund for the canceled cruise, as well as compensation for the changed itinerary. The type of barnacle growth affecting Celebrity Eclipse is natural, but needs attention to assure the ship's efficient operation, as well as to comply with local environmental guidelines. While individually small, accumulated barnacles can dramatically impact how much fuel a ship needs or increase drag and impact overall cruising speeds. Depending on the variety, and there are more than 1,400 species worldwide, barnacles may also sometimes introduce unfamiliar marine organisms into environments. Cleaning the hull can be a delicate process, and it is essential to do so with care to ensure the ship's hull is not compromised and no environmental contaminants. Contaminants are introduced into local waters. Thankfully, I'm at the end of the news. Since I can't read, can't talk, can't get anything out. Wow, good heavens. So that's going to end the news for today. Let's jump over in the chat room and see who's with us this morning. Hot Air Tom is with us, of course, always. He's talking about changing his clock. I cheat. I keep everything on Eastern Daylight Time. Can get a little dicey on the ship, but it's on Pacific time. Nikki's with us. Hi, Nikki. Cindy's here. Cindy, Joanne's with us. Amy's here. Gretchen's here. Nikki asked Hot Air where he is. He's in NOLA. Nolans, Louisiana. Had a rough time getting here. My Garmin GPS was directing me from the airport to the hotel and was a bit crazy. Do a U-turn on I-610. Really? Get out. Travels with Lizzie Lou. Hi, Lizzie. Sonny's with us. Cindy says 2 more weeks until my next cruise on Carnival Conquest. Girls cruise. Enjoy Alaska, Chillie. One day I'll get there. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I have warm clothes. I'm not going to do any sunbathing. That doesn't look like. Lizzie says I disembarked on a 90s theme cruise on Saturday. Now it's washing and packing for a cruise on Anthem to the Seas departing Friday. Yeah. I'm looking forward to following you on Anthem. Nikki says NOLA is horrible for GPS. I got very lost once. I wonder why. Maybe the GPSs have gotten flooded before or something. Whatever it does, GPS comes from. Oh, it was satellites. They get flooded up there. Anyway, all right, guys, that's going to wrap me up. Again, a really busy day here today. I get everything done and posted before I lose my good Wi-Fi signal, because who knows what's going to happen on Quantum. I am planning on doing shows normally all week. That's planning. But we'll see what happens with the Wi-Fi signal. We'll see what happens with what kind of signal Quantum has. And also, I'll see what happens. I've not been to Alaska, folks. Does the 4G system and 5G sound like crap from the phone companies? Is that good up there? I don't know. They say the United States. Alaska is part of the United States, at least the maps that I look at. Of course, there's a lot of states that are part of the United States, too, that they had no Wi-Fi, no 4G, no 5G, no nada. So, anyway, parts of California, ran into that yesterday. Oh, yeah. Did you guys see the blizzard I was in yesterday? That was awful. I'm talking about a couple hours. It was snowing pretty hard. Probably up at the kind of the summit of that area. It wasn't really all that mountainous, but we were definitely in some mountains. But they weren't like really high ones or anything. But there was a good foot of snow on the ground. So, yeah, that was shocking. I mean, thankfully, I didn't have to get out in. But it slowed the train down. When they go around the curve, and, I'm back 4 or 5 cars. So it goes around a pretty good curve. I can see the engine, and the engine's just big plumes of snow coming out beside of it. It was kind of neat. But, yeah, that was wasn't counting on that on this trip. I was figuring I'd see it run into snow in Alaska. That wouldn't have surprised me. I didn't even think about it going, seeing snow in the Rockies. I'm just not thinking in those terms. So, And clearly, once I got to Oregon, I wasn't thinking it'd be a big damn blizzard. Oh well. All right, guys. I go over at 1 o'clock Pacific time, so that's not till 4 o'clock. You guys back east. I'll do something from the ship today, some way, somehow. I'm not sure what yet. I never know. So we'll let you know how embarkation goes. Another challenging day ahead. So looking forward to it. Looking forward to this next week. I'm looking forward to the trip back home too, now that I've got a little bit on how to. How signal just went out. I don't know if that was hotel for Tuesday travel and cruise industry news. Now, you guys all stay safe. Stay healthy.
I regularly post videos on all facets of the travel and cruise industry, so if you like to keep up with the latest in cruise ships, ports of call, cruises themselves, Chillie chats, and travel and cruise industry news, just hit the little subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner, hit the bell notification so you'll be notified when a new video is up or we go live. This video was produced by Chillie's Cruises.